Good morning, everyone. Welcome to pre-market prep. Ooh, somebody
My
dropped the
bad.
beat. We know you love to DJ, Peter. So I was gonna say
Wicka,
Peter's
wicka, wicka,
Peter's
wicka.
about to hit the ones and twos right now and make this Friday really live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the market prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Peter, good morning. Covering for Norm today, who again still not feeling well, under the weather a little bit. He will be with us next week. And speaking of next week, we are off on Monday, right? Markets are closed Monday. So, Peter, how's it going? How are you doing today?
I am doing great, thank you. I hope you're doing okay, Carlos, as well.
Yes, yes, doing very good, my friend. Doing very good. Um, all right, guys, let's get this out of the way here and let's get into things here. We'll skip what happened yesterday just to save some time here as we're running a little bit late. Computer issues on my end, so we'll skip on that. And let's just take a look at what our gappers list looks like this morning. So far, a couple of names here in the green, not any big ones that we usually end up trading, maybe Wind and MGM. So I see that some of the Vegas stuff here is doing pretty well, right? I see LVS is on here as well, Las Vegas
Yep.
Sands. So what's going on? Is there any some good news for
Yeah,
gambling?
so it's common news. So you notice Las Vegas Sands, Win, and MGM are all up there. It's news out of Macau. So from Macau, there was uncertainty as to whether they what the status would be of their licenses in the casinos, and the government has now clarified the licensing requirements. They can all reapply and get licenses for up to 13 years. So that's seen as good news. One thing I learned this morning, I've just found this tidbit interesting. It's so impactful for these companies because we think of Las Vegas as the place to go gamble, but gambling revenues for these companies are 5 to 6 times higher from Macau than they are from Las Vegas. So food for thought there. Like the gambling center is from a profit and a revenue point of view is not Las Vegas. It's definitely out of Macau. So that news is very important for these companies and why their stock is going up.
Yeah, very, very interesting. We'll see how that is going to play out today. Spy right now. Let's get into that. I'm not sure if you had a chance to kind of prepare for this, Peter, since you're covering here. But we can see here we're taking a bit of a hit yesterday and today again. So, guys, do not mind the U.S. economy calendar there. That is not up to date. As Norm is one that handles that. But what's the latest and greatest, Peter? Obviously, things are not looking too positive right now.
Yeah, well, we saw a push down into the close after sort of a long, slow drip downwards throughout the day yesterday. Obviously, that's continuing this morning. We'll see what happens. I expect today to sort of be the open should be a normal open, but the volume should taper off quickly. Don't forget, we are going into a long weekend, and it is a Friday as always. Both those things combined will probably lead to lower volumes. I do think, though, it's going to be a weak market, but you know what? You can never know in this marketplace, can you? Because it has the amazing capacity to jump when you least expect it. We do have some news, some economic news coming out today. Quite a number of things. Retail sales, the import price index is coming out. There's a few things that I'm looking for, none of which usually, sort of move the market. However, if they all come sort of lower than expected, then that will certainly have a drag. If there's a mixed bag, then, probably no impact. So we'll see what happens. I think generally we should expect the market again to be, sort of slow and downward. And if you're planning to trade on day all day, I would say just be cautious, everyone, because volumes are definitely going to be lower. Oh, did I lose Carlos? Am I still here?
There you go. I'm still here, but it looks like my
Okay.
computer froze up here. So I'm trying to change from your screen to my main screen. so let's just see here, guys. Sorry about that. My computer is acting funny on this Friday morning. So just one second, guys. Let me try something here. One sec.
Computer's not liking me. Hopefully it's not me. So I see you guys talking about the casinos. Yeah, I was looking at this. Interestingly, they were saying that Vegas actually has more. The population of Vegas and Macau are roughly similar. There's actually significantly more floor space available in Vegas because they just have more land available. But the revenue per casino is, I said, 5 to 6 times higher. I didn't really know those numbers. Never thought about that before. So I found that interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on these casinos. I think maybe while Carlos is fixing it. Can you guys still hear me? By the way, hopefully you can still hear me while he's working on things. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So we'll continue because we don't want to run out of time. The other common theme, I find it interesting. It is apparently tough to be a banker in the U.S. right now. Not that I feel sorry for bankers by any stretch, but Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and J.P. Morgan, so CWFC and JPM, all reported this morning, all beat their numbers. But it's interesting if you look at them. Both Citigroup and JP Morgan are down so far this morning. We'll see those on the gap downs. In Citigroup's case, they actually said, hey, they met their numbers, slightly beat them, but the revenue was lower than it previously was, so they're getting punished for that. JP Morgan, they beat their numbers, but they lowered their forward-looking forecast, expecting some headwinds despite the interest rate increases that are coming. And then Wells Fargo seems to be the smartest of the group because they just didn't say anything. There's least information on Wells Fargo, and they're holding up sort of the best under it. Although, as is being pointed out in the room, yeah, they're pulling down now and are just about to go red. We'll see if they can hold on to this green. But definitely for investors in the banking sector, it's strange, right? Because you can't, even though they have good numbers, doesn't necessarily
Okay.
mean the stock's going to go up. Again, no sympathy for bankers, quite frankly, but it's interesting to watch the stock just not worry about the fundamentals, right? Like it's more about the forward looking statements that these things seem to be driven by. So,
Yep,
Carlos, you're back.
absolutely. Yes, I'm back. So we
All right.
took care of that there. All right, guys, let's see what we have going on today. Starting with our gappers list, let's go ahead and look at our trade ideas this morning. Let's make sure everything is linked up here. Again, today has definitely been a little bit challenging as far as systems goes, but we won't let that delay us anymore here. So, all right, here we go. Let's take a look at things here. REVB, this one's 7.2 million shares flow, so a little bit on the lower side. 1.8 million shares traded right now. They are up 21%, guys. Not looking great right now because again, you had that one initial pop and then you're kind of dropping at the moment. So for the low flow that we like to look at, this is not looking great. I'm going to bring this back down here to REVB. We'll put it on here. We'll see if it gets any better, but it's not looking that good right now.
Now,
MLCO. Yeah.
sorry, let me just address that. There is some news on our EVB. Interestingly, Finviz didn't have anything, but there's stuff on Yahoo on it. But so this is Revelation Biosciences. This actually started as a SPAC. If you look at the chart on the daily, dead flat until just about a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
Mm,
maybe. When it started to move, when they sort of went from being a special purpose acquisition vehicle to declaring the stock ticker is now going to be used specifically for Revelation Bio. But they did have news that they've been doing trials on their drug REVTX99. Sounds very clinical, doesn't it? But anyways, shown to be COVID effective. So as soon as you say you've got something that could be effective for all strains of COVID, this is when you see stocks jump. So as you said, doesn't look great pre-market, but they did have 1.8 million in volume at some point this morning, mostly early this morning. So we'll see at the open. Like if it jumps at the open, both in volume and in price, might be worth looking at. But if it doesn't, I would say probably avoid it. It's likely to be one of those that's either going to be very skittish, right, tough to trade, or it's just
mhm.
going to go down for the day.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we'll see where that goes here. Again, not looking all that great right now, but will be interesting to see what happens there. MLCO this morning, guys, they're up 10%, 430,000 shares traded. I don't like the price action on this one this morning. The daily also looks very thin as far as volume. We just need a better pre-market action on this. So I'm not sure what the catalyst is, but it does not look worth watching at the moment. So we
Yeah.
talked a little bit about
It,
this one. Yeah, go ahead.
it's one I'm not familiar with, by the way. It's just it's apparently a casino group, Melco Resorts and Entertainment, another
Oh,
casino group, same news.
okay, so same news. So let's see if some of the other ones that we actually do like to trade, right? Like LVS is a little bit better, and you can see that in the pre-market. You're getting better volume, better activity. Wind is another one that also trades a little bit better. Not all that great right now. LVS definitely in play this morning. I'm going to add that on here, and all these are going to be in play, right? With the catalyst, it's just a matter of which is going to trade a little bit better than others. MGM does have a nice daily. horrible pre-market activity, but it is sitting on the New York Stock Exchange, so might take a bit to get going. But the daily looks interesting for a possible breakout. I'm going to throw this here, guys, on a secondary for now. JKS this morning, horrible. Not much going on there. Pretty again, pre-market action is just pretty crappy right now. Yesterday you did have a drop here, but again, yesterday so many stocks were dropping. You could have taken advantage of a whole bunch of other things except this one. So I won't give them too much credit for yesterday. Let's take a look at what's gapping down, guys. BTCS. This is the low flow that's been making some noise the last couple of days. Here you can see yesterday pre-market. Pre-market has some activity. Market open was completely horrible, guys. It's not doing a whole lot there. Really all over the place. I don't expect anything fun from this today. We do not have shares for sure on this thing. They're down 12.9. Again, it just doesn't look good right now.
Yeah,
NVAX
it's
as
funny.
yeah.
I checked my notes for BTCS because I remember it being yesterday, and all I wrote was Bitcoin. So
Mm-hmm.
that obviously it's a Bitcoin related stock, and that's just code for me to say avoid trading it. It doesn't actually trade independently, and these ones where they're closely tied to the Bitcoin, I just personally I find them terrible to trade. There's better things always.
Yeah, yeah. Agree 100%. Here's a NVAX this morning. This one's taking, man. This is taking a hit here. I know you guys like this one. I'm gonna add it to my list. I'm not a big fan, but the drops that it's making here the last couple of days, yesterday and then today again, could be very interesting. So let's see how this plays out. 538,000 shares traded, down 10% this morning. We do have shares for sure. Let's see. Not a big fan, but I like the way this daily's forming here, especially the last couple of days.
So there was some news just for those of you that might be watching the bigger companies, Novavax, Moderna. They're all being affected because of a Supreme Court decision against these large companies, I guess, in terms of how they operate. I don't actually know what the decision was or the impact, but it's saying that it's definitely having an impact. So some of the smaller, companies are getting a boost with their vaccines. The bigger ones seem to be taking a hit today.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's probably the only reason why NVAX looks so good today, right? Because there is some kind of
Mm.
catalyst behind there. Otherwise, it doesn't do all that well. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh, I
YN,
see.
yeah,
The room is helping me out, saying that
yeah.
it's because there's not going to be a mandatory vaccination for companies over 100 people, which I guess would, if there would have been, that the expectation, of course, that would lift those that are in large distribution right now.
Gotcha. Um, let's take a look here. YNDX this morning, guys. They're down. Also, is this part of what is this company? No, this is something else. I think this is a foreign company that
Yandex, yeah, this is if I remember, this is like out of Russia or something, isn't it? It's
Russia or let me see here,
no,
Netherlands. I think
oh,
it's the
actually, I'm
Netherlands.
wrong. The Netherlands, based in the
Netherlands. Yeah.
Netherlands.
Yep. They're getting some action today, guys. Let's see how they did yesterday. They did drop nicely. They had 4 million shares. I think the volume tends to be a little bit lighter on this one. Not sure. Possible for now. Usually we don't keep this one. It is a foreign stock, but let's see what happens there. All right, we have a whole lot here on our gapping down list. We're not going to go through all of these. BNTX here as well this morning. Not looking all that good. mRNA looks decent. Again, we have some news there. So both NVAX and mRNA, you can pick whichever one you like best. mRNA has not been trading all that well, but today could be nice to take a look at. Piton, what's going on with Piton? Taking a hit here, down 4.2,
Yeah,
239.
Peloton is interesting only in that there was actually news yesterday, came out sort of midday yesterday, I think it was, that Google was looking at adding sort of fitness apps, fitness capability, anyways, to some of their services and their video feeds, which of course would have an impact if they provide free or a different service that might compete potentially with Peloton. No details as to what that means, but I think that's what's causing Peloton to move a little bit more today. But Carlos, like you sort of, I think you were starting to say, like it used to be a great trader, but it's been a while since, in my mind, it's traded really well.
Yep, agree. We'll put it on here for now. I might drop it off because I know we're gonna get some good names. Starting with like Lucid right over here, right? So Lucid, I saw this earlier today. They're down 3.7. Again, 600,000. This definitely's got some volume. I'm gonna add this to our list here. I skipped Citibank, but we do have some of the banks in here as well. JP Morgan, Citigroup, all of them down nicely with some good volume today, guys. So the banking stocks again, taking a nice little dive here. Peter, what's happening, man? What's going on? Should I
Well,
take? Should I
maybe
take?
while you
Should I
were
take my money out of the bank? What should I do here?
Yeah, well, I did talk about that a minute ago. Props where you were working on the tech, but bottom line
Okay.
is
Yep.
they all hit their numbers. They all reported this morning, so they're usually the first out of the gate. And this morning is when Citibank, J.P. Morgan, and Wells Fargo all reported. They hit their numbers, but the concern is the forward-looking information. So revenues generally were down. They said what they said they were going to do, or sorry, they did what they said they were going to do. But revenues are lower than they have been previously, and they're expecting some headwinds, which is what is pushing these stocks lower this morning.
Gotcha. Guys, you could definitely look at your favorite ones today. Again, you have Bank of America, you have JP Morgan, Citigroup. I tend to like West Fargo when it comes to these stocks. I'm going to put West Fargo here, but you can definitely look at other ones on the list. I'm going to put some secondaries here. JP Morgan looking good as well. They got great volume. So does West Fargo, guys. West Fargo, 1.2 million. JP Morgan, 964,000. Man, this list is long. So we got a couple of banks in here. TSM is on this list. What did it do yesterday? I had it on my list, but I didn't really pay attention to it. As
It
space was
Yeah, it
was
moved really well yesterday. There was some
yeah,
good
yeah.
opportunity on TSM, which is unusual. I mean, actually, we were watching it in the room live when it came up to 145. You can see the high of the day, Carlos, and it sat there for almost 10 minutes, hitting its
Yeah.
head, and then look at the drop, like a $7 drop right off of that. So we were talking about that, how to potentially trade it. Anyways, we did some good analysis in the room on that. So, but yesterday the news was because of earnings. So
Hmm.
today, I think that we're just probably seeing some fall off at the tail end of that move downward. TSM is not normally a good trader, so I was surprised
Yeah.
at how well it moved yesterday.
Yep, absolutely. FSC guys this morning. Let's take a look. That's yesterday. Let's take a look how it looks now. Pretty
FCX.
light. Sorry, FCX. Yeah, pretty light right now. So I don't see anything great on that. AMC on the list also taking a hit here, down 2.6. Could be interesting. AMC, they can get good volume. Could be interesting. We'll see where that goes. Possible for now. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff, guys. We have Hood in here, which doesn't have great volume at the moment. We have Rivian here as well. Not doing all that well. Neo, let's see what's going on with Neo. We got volume on
These
Neo.
all of these EV companies, like
Yeah.
we all know, they've been great traders. People love to trade them, and they generally
Mm-hmm.
get good volume. Lucid, Neo are the top two, I would say, aside from
Yeah.
Tesla, of course. And then Rivian has been coming up. Right now, there's general concerns over production, especially the newer ones. Are they able to meet their production numbers? Both Rivian and Lucid have had some news that makes people wonder, are they going to hit their numbers or not? But there's another whole large group of money sitting out there that seems to be waiting in the wings, looking for the buy point. So I think, to me, this is one I love to watch Lucid on a regular basis. I'm sort of biding my time, waiting to see, because once people get excited again, these things could take off once again. I fully expect that to happen. So let's see what happens. But for today, like you're saying, Carlos, no real specific news on these. But
Mm-hmm.
like if they move, then sure we can trade them. If not, move on to something else.
Yep, absolutely. All of these down a bit this morning, guys. Disney coming up here as well. Disney down 2%, 193. We just got all kinds of sectors down this morning, right? Zoom. Let's take a look. Zoom is down as well. But again, I don't like Zoom a whole lot compared to everything else we have here with just the amount of volume that we're getting on some of these other stocks that are moving just a little bit better. So, all right, we'll stop here, guys. As this list is going to continue to grow as we get closer to that 930 time frame, as things starts to get over that 100,000 shares volumes traded. So let's take it to the room. Well, before we do that, Peter, what do you like this morning? Let me guess. AMD. AMD.
Like AMD doesn't look great this morning, but it doesn't usually. So it's not going to stop it from being on my list. I do like
Yeah.
trading it, so we'll keep an eye on it. The semiconductors have been moving as a pack recently. Nvidia actually has been trading pretty well. I mean, it's higher priced, but if you don't mind the price, it's been trading fairly well. So Intel has actually been moving with the group. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the semiconductors. Qualcomm is another one that I think Mike has been trading out of the room. So I look for him to sort of let me know when it's moving and it's got some action. So none of them look great this morning, but other than what we've talked about, that's the only thing I'm looking at. Aside from the usuals, of course, Carlos, right? Which for me is Apple,
Yeah.
Tesla, and
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah. The ones that have been kind of trading pretty pretty well, even without having such catalyst and movement like we have in the market today. So here's Apple, which the daily looks very nice on. We'll keep an eye on that. So, all right, guys, let's take it to the room. If we have it on here already, we're gonna go over it again. I know we have a lot on this list already. Let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. We'll start with David. You're giving us Disney had a downgrade. Let's take a look. Yeah, oh, actually, I have Disney already. No, Disney's on here, guys. Yeah, they're dropping pretty nice here, 2.5, 195,000. So I like that there. Disney is good. I have it as a possible just because the stuff up here, right? The Las Vegas Sands, NVAX, mRNA. We could probably keep one of these two, Piton and Lucid. These just look much better right now. This might be able to take care of like a NVAX or something. We'll see. We'll fine tune this a little bit better. Microsoft. What is going on with Microsoft? Wow, big drop yesterday on Microsoft, man. 320 to 305. So a nice big drop there. And
Yeah,
yeah,
Microsoft is having a lot of challenges internally with their sexual harassment policies. The board has had to make statements about it. They're reviewing all of their harassment and discrimination policies. So never good, especially when a company that size is dealing with concerns. And never good if truly they're not doing a good job of managing that for their
yeah,
employees. So, but
yeah,
that's from a stock, trading perspective. That's sort of what's pushing Microsoft down, other
yeah.
than general market headwinds.
Right, yeah, that is a no good for them. I'm gonna put them on here. I'm just concerned with how long this list is getting. Let's take a look at BA here, guys. BA this morning, pretty quiet compared to everything else we have on our list right now. So I'm gonna keep that on the side, on the sidelines, or at least off the list for now. SoFi today, let's take a look there. They're dropping 2.4, 500,000. If I like this stock, I would have had it on my list, but I do not. I'd rather watch something else. But yeah, it is looking better than usually does, right? So you can definitely take advantage of this one if you do like to trade this type of stock there. JD, JD, who traded it? JD yesterday? Was it Brian?
Brian
Somebody,
was watching.
he was
Yeah.
watching this, right? And he's a great trader of JD, and he does it all the time. Again, we had so many other stocks I was watching, so I didn't pay attention to this one, like a space. And Peter, I know you try to get into space. Well, you got into space, and I think you took a partial and got
Yeah.
stopped out.
Yep.
I probably did worse. I got in here, was patient all the way until here, took a partial, and then I get out here, and then look what it does after that. It just drops to $10. So it's like, yeah, great. You were patient through the entire stuff, or wasn't doing anything, and then I get impatient when I'm into a little profit there. So it's just, I tell you,
Ain't that the way,
ain't that the way it goes, man? Uh, all right, so here it is. So JD, I'm not liking it as much today compared to everything else. TSM traded great yesterday, traded all day. Looks like, yeah, yeah. I think TSM did very well yesterday. Today might also be in play again. So I just don't like it better than what I have on my list, guys. There's so much today. There's so much you can watch today, right? And this list is going to continue to grow. So your favorite stocks will probably be some will probably be very active and in play today. Let's take a look at NKLA, also very active yesterday. Pretty quiet this morning. Not seeing anything great on it, so
eh?
we'll leave that on the sides for now. Baba, how's
One
Baba
area
doing?
we might
Yeah.
want to take a look at. Yeah, actually, that's a good one too. Some like Baba, Billy, Baidu, see what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, but also Boeing and the transportation sector, pretty active yesterday. Actually, had a relatively good day, especially compared to the market. So I don't know if it's going to hold up today. It is down slightly,
Mm-hmm.
but I might just keep an eye on Boeing as well.
Yeah, BA is fun to watch, man. That stock always, for me, when I have traders, done well. So I like watching BA for sure. All right, guys, let's take a look over some stuff on YouTube here. Again, if it's on this list, we'll look at it again. This is my main list right now is the possibles list, which is very, very long. It's a lot of stuff going on there, but we got some duplicates. What I mean by that, for example, we got JP Morgan and we got West Fargo. I don't need to watch two banking stocks, right? Just keep one on deck and we can always see if another one is moving, we could take advantage of that. So AMC is on the list. We have that there. Temple, WIMD is on the list as well. Bank of America, I do not have, but I have West Fargo and JP Morgan. Bank of America also in play today. Heading down here, we do have B Big. B Big, is this the funky stock? B Big. Yeah, this is the one that was coming up on our gappers list all the time.
Yeah, a
Uh,
while ago.
I don't know, man. I just I'm gonna stay away from this. I think we can find something better stuff to look at here. QQQs, yeah, you can watch the Qs, the SPY. I think we're getting some good movements all over the place there. And yeah, that is thank you, Peter. That is the ETF for the financial sector, right?
Yeah,
XLF. So you can
yeah.
watch this here, and you can see it is not doing very well. Today will be a good day too, if you want to trade something that is this leveraged, by the way. Is this leveraged at all?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Let's
I
see.
don't. I don't think so.
There's a way
No, I don't think
to.
so.
It's not okay. I know right here we talked about this yesterday. If you bring back the title bar here on your montage, it will tell you. But yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. It's not. It will tell you here like times 3 or something. So it's not leveraged. Actually, I should keep this like this. I'm gonna save that. Sorry guys, I'm gonna save it now because I know if I don't save it now, I'll shut everything down and it will not. This is default. Yeah, let's do that. I'll forget for sure. All right. Okay, very good, guys. Uber. What's going on with Uber today? Pretty quiet, no volume right now. So I don't think there's anything to be looking at this morning. Net also just again a big red day yesterday, but pretty quiet compared to the stuff we have here, guys. Right? Look at LVS, which is up today, which is nice because there's a lot of red in here. So whatever's in the green territory, it'll be nice to watch. I know the banks are slightly green, but they're looking rather weak still because as they're dropping. But MGM, LVS, both in the green here. Definitely worth keeping on the list, doing opposite of what everything else is doing. So NVAX and mRNA are good. I'm probably going to keep one. I'm probably going to keep mRNA. I'm going to take NVAX off, guys. mRNA is usually what I like to trade. Instead, Piton will keep on here for now. Lucid is good. West Fargo. And we have Apple as well. And we'll fine tune our secondary list after announcement. So again, pretty extensive list this morning. Definitely going to be a fun day today.
All right, so we can go quickly through announcements as we're at the end of yet another week of fantastic activity. Yesterday was Mentoring Thursday here for Bearable Traders. So Andrew did a mentoring session. He brought on somebody from the Peak Capital Group to explain their trading and how that worked after their experience. And Thor did Thor's Day mentoring last night. So all that was good. Next week, we've got another slate of activities. Let's start by saying it is a short week next week. So do not forget, markets are closed on Monday. So there is no trading on Monday. We also, Carlos, are we doing, I think we've pushed, right, our onboarding type class?
Yes, onboarding will be now on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So Tuesday,
Okay,
7 p.m., guys, Eastern time.
so if you're a new joining member, that's normally Mondays, but with the market closure, it's going to be Tuesday at 7 p.m. Keep that in mind. But our slate of webinars continues. So Tuesday, we've got our strategy and trade book webinar. Ed is talking about his option. No, that was this week. I remember that because he did that this week. Sorry, next week. Thor is back. Tape reading Into the Matrix. Oh yes, he did that. You remember him mentioning that. So that should be fantastic. Thor is a volume-based trader, and if you sort of spend some time listening to him, I have incorporated his sort of volume philosophy into all of my trading strategies. I think it's very important. So and it really helps my trading. So the better you can understand sort of how volume impacts the stock and stock direction, and how you can leverage level two is very valuable. So that's Tuesday night, 8 o'clock in the webinar room. And then Wednesday is always our psychology day. So on Wednesday, you can flip the chart for me there, Carlos. There you go. Next Wednesday, we'll be having Mike in the room talking about building your trading confidence by having a solid routine. I am a firm proponent of that. Having a good routine really helps set up the day. You've probably heard me talk a lot about the more you can take decision making out of the pressure cooker of once you hit the button and you're in a trade, the better. Having a good routine helps you do that. So that will be next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, once again in the webinar room. And if you haven't already, check out the stock trading simulator. So if you want to test theories, if you want to back test some of the strategies that you're using, go to the stock trading simulator. You can find any day. The other day I was looking for something back in April of well, last year now, and it had all the data. I was able to sort of rerun the charts from April and sort of back test some strategies that I was working on. It's a great tool. It's free, no obligation, no sales pitch. Just go and use it. We want people to use it, stress test it, use it for what you want. It has not only the charts but time and sales data. It's awesome and valuable. So go to stocktradingsimulator.com, take advantage. If you want to join us, rather than just watch the pre-market show on YouTube, which is fantastic, give us a like if you like what you're seeing, by the way. But go join. You can use the code premarket24 to get a $24 discounted 1-week trial. It just gives you a taste. Is this a community for you? Because not every community is for every trader. We acknowledge that. But we have confidence in what we do, and we really believe it helps so many people, and we love that. So, and if you do decide to join, then you can join and into one of our membership packages, and hopefully we'll be seeing you in the trade room soon. If you're new in the trade room, why don't you give us a little hello, say hi. We always have new people in here, so it's great to see the new members. And I think that's it for announcements.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. Appreciate that there. All right, guys, let's get to it. So our list this morning, again, rather long today, but I think it will be a lot of fun. So today's one of those days where you can be very, very picky, and you'll be able to come out with an amazing watch list. So, all right, let's get into it, guys. Let's start here. I want to fine tune this a little bit more, at least for now, as best as we can. So LVS is good. We're going to keep that on there, looking very nice, very strong. 1.1 million, up 12% almost. mRNA looking good here as well. We'll keep that on there. Piton, I'm on the fence on it. I think might find something better. We'll see. Lucid looks good, guys. And I wonder if today's going to be one of those days where, this market has been buy the dip at all cost type market, right? We've seen that. I mean, over and over again. We're already starting to see some bounces here. So, guys, don't have a type of short bias, because this market is very, very funky. Every time it dips down, it finds a way to bounce back up. So just be careful with that. If you find yourself in the wrong side of things and it continues to go against you, make the right decision to get out of that trade, right? Very, very important. Or if your plan is to stay in that trade, make sure you're following whatever rules or strategy you have set out for yourself there. So mRNA is good. Piton is okay for now. Might switch that one. Lucid, I do like Lucid a lot today, guys. It's down nicely here. Good volume, so we'll keep that on there. West Fargo will be the bank that I'm looking at. But again, as I mentioned before, you have Bank of America. You have which is looking good as well. JP Morgan, you have Citigroup. There are so many of these that you can watch. So West Fargo looks good for me. I also like Citigroup. I like the way it's setting up here as well. Man, just way too many this morning, but I'm going to ask Citigroup because something about this looks good. I like Citigroup this morning. All right, so that's our main list. Secondary list, we have Baba in play, looking very nice. The pre-market, guys. Normally, Baba just goes sideways. We're getting some good movement here, so I like that there. Microsoft. I'm just gonna watch Apple just to make this list smaller. Just gonna keep an eye on Apple. That'll be my tech type company for today. Neo is good. We have Lucid here as well. Neo's looking nice. MGM. I'm not liking what I'm seeing in the pre-market on MGM. That can change. I will wait for that to hit the scanners, or maybe some of you guys will call that out if you're watching it. This is a YNDX. I added this here early on, not knowing what I was going to be getting after going through this gappers list. I don't think we need this today. We do not need this today compared to other tickets we have on this list. JP Morgan, another banking stock here, guys. I like them as well. But I already have West Fargo and Citigroup, so I'm going to remove JP Morgan. I just got to be picky with making this list somewhat manageable, right? AMC, it has potential, but I'm on the fence on this one. We'll come back to that. Disney, same thing here, guys. I like the drop on Disney, down 2%. This is a big drop for them. What's the news on Disney? Did we cover that? I don't know what's going on there. I know someone threw it out in the room, and
I haven't yet watched the Boba Fett series. That's why it's down, because they're seeing that I'm not paying attention.
come on, man, you got to get on the ball here. What's going on? Um,
I didn't see any news about Disney specifically. There was some competitor news that just adds more competition to the streaming services that seem to
yeah.
be tagged against Disney, but nothing. They were downgraded. Okay, so people are saying there was a downgrade. I don't put a lot of stock in downgrades. Pun not intended, but there you go. But yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the part of a community that is so great. So I got Hamish, one of our members here. He sends me a quick text. He's like, "Hey, here, check this out. If it helps out, right?" Like, I would never pull this out if I was trading by myself. I wouldn't look for this, right? He sent me this nice little thing here with some stocks in there. It's just beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
Hmm.
It's got to be part of a community, guys. It doesn't matter what type of trading you're doing. You got to find a community that supports this trading style. You can't do this alone. It is just very boring, and you're gonna miss out on some really good opportunities. So thank you, Hamish, for that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna take a closer look at that. I do like some of the names that I saw on there, especially Space. Space was great yesterday, and even Thor like Space this morning. Man, they're dropping again another 2.3, and this is like their all-time low. I looked at that yesterday. I was trying to look for levels here. And there's nothing. Oh, I actually didn't. I probably didn't go as far as I had to. No, there is not their all-time lows. They've been lower. Okay. But yeah, they're really, man, they're taking a big hit. This is not fun for them. This stock was at $50 just not so long ago. Yeah, right over here. So yikes. Okay. So back to
Well,
this here.
Carlos,
Yep,
maybe like you and I both learned yesterday, if you want to trade space, you got to have a ton of patience because
you do, man.
it moves
Yeah.
very slowly.
Yeah, yeah, you do. It's not the space we were looking at 3 months back, 4 months back. It's a lot more slower. You get the volume, but it just barely moves. It was painful watching this thing try to do something yesterday here. I mean, it just held on to this 1050 right on here, held on to this forever, forever there. So yeah, it's just crazy. All right, let's get some levels done. LVS. Let's start here with our main list. I think our main list looks good. How many we have? One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, guys. And your list could look completely different today, and you still can have a blockbuster list because today we have a ton of stuff we can look at. LVS high of the pre-market 42.90 at the moment. If we move over to the left here, that has been right very close to an area of resistance in the past. Look at this daily level here too. This area you're getting a lot of touches around this 4120 right over here. So a lot of touches on the daily as well. You want to have that on your charts there. So that's good. Heading back over here to the charts. Let's see. Nope, that's not a level. Let's delete that. Deleted the wrong line. Let's bring that back. 41, 20 is around there, so that's good. Above the price action, above this 42.90, what do we have here? All the way up here, obviously a good level, 45.14. That's a big move. I don't think we will get that today. We'll see how strong this catalyst is. I mean, we went from 38 to 42 already in the pre-market, almost 43. So it is possible. 43.97 and not a huge level, but an area of a minor support and resistance right over here. Not like this level here. This level here is very, very nice, very strong. Changing direction level, you can see it tested twice here, could not break out, and then it drops down. So that's always the good stuff there. All right, towards the bottom, guys, plenty highs and lows from the last two trading days. You are set. Do not need to add anything more there. Let's take a look at mRNA here. Continues to drop, losing all the support that it has had for some time. Back in November, support here. This whole month, it has been supported here at 210. We're losing that today. So let's go back over here down to low of the pre-market this morning. We're looking at 197.68. High of the pre-market is this little dot over here, 208.60. And then if we were to continue on this drop, let's see. Let's go back to the left here and let's find some areas. We are looking at possibly this one right here, 187, 21 area of great resistance here before we had a night again here. And then we had a nice little breakout. So that's nice on the mRNA. So not a big fan of mRNA, but today could be one of those days where they do trade very, very well. So have them on the list for sure. Piton this morning, also low of the pre-market. You know, this is more of a possible for me, I think, guys. I'm going to move this down. The more I look at it, the more I'm not convinced that this is the best stock that should be on my list, right? So I'm going to remove that one. I'd rather have something maybe like Disney, even Neo. I think even Neo. This way I can touch on everything, right? We got gambling, we got a vaccine, we got EVs, we got banking, we got tech. I mean, we're covered, guys, right? We're
You
covering all the.
just need some food in there.
Yeah, can we get Grubhub in here? I mean, how's
I'm getting
Grubhub
hungry.
doing? You know, we just need the food sector, and we're or be. I know which one we can add. Where's Norm? We can add Beyond the Meat or something, you know.
Beyond, no, no.
And
I said food.
uh, and we can recover here. So, all right, guys, we are running out of time. This Friday is Brian ready to go? If he's ready to go, I'll wait for his watch list to be the indicator that he's ready to go. And once his watch list comes out, then we'll just switch over to YouTube and we'll continue our watch list there. But we'll let the chat continue since we're running a little bit behind. So I'll wait for his watch list to come out. Lucid, let's continue here. Low of the pre-market 39.68. We'll slam that there towards the bottom. Great area support, guys. Just look at this on here. This is 36.60, 31. 36.31. I don't think we'll get there today. We're already starting to see a little bit of this bounce. This big drops are gonna cause people to say, hey, this is a good price to buy the dip. Let's see what we do here. So be careful with that type of mentality that we've seen lately in the markets. Above the price action, guys, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Do not need to add anything else. Here is West Fargo, a banking stock that I'm watching. Low of the pre-market 55.33. Over here, guys, 54.48. So we're pretty much set there. So that looks really good. Brian has his list out, so I'll switch over to him actually in a second since we only have two more left. Apple is going to be low of the pre-market 170, all the way down here 168. High of the pre-market 172.94. And then Apple has been so great. Look at the bounce we're getting now, and look at the value, 1.2 million shares traded. Here's Neo, 29.59 is good. Towards the bottom, good level of support here at 28 exactly, 28 there. So that could be a nice area if we do decide to head down. But again, you're starting to see that bounce now that we're getting. So it's just this buy the dip type mentality that we're seeing here. So let's see. Gonna be a very interesting Friday, I'll tell you that much. All right, guys, let's take a look at our moderators lineup and then we'll hand it over. Over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, please hit that thumbs up. We have only 116 likes. We would love to get that over to 250 plus. That's always great for us, and we
Is it
appreciate your support very
is
much.
it me? Tell me it's not me, people,
Nah,
please.
Peter, it's not you. Come on. You are the difference today, though, I gotta say. But no, it's not you. All right, here it is. Demo, you like Apple, AMD, JD, and LVS. Good tight list there. Eamon is looking at potential shorts only today. OCGN, CHPT, and Fubo. Peter, no IPOs and a couple of SPACs there this morning. Tiffany, you're looking at LVS, West Fargo, secondary list, Lucid, AMC. Peter, AMD, you like West Fargo, LVS, secondary list for you, Apple, Lucid, BA, and JD. Here's Brian's list, guys. JD, NVAX, AMD, LVS, TZA, and TNA. And Jared will be looking at AMC, AMD, AME. I'm like, what the hell is AME? He's just kidding there. And Tesla. Secondary list, the banks and banking stocks, of course. Thor looking at space, which is great yesterday, and actually not looking so bad today. I might put that on my secondary list there. Microsoft and LVS, and then eyes on scanners, and of course you, our friends, guys, the chat, because you guys always are bringing out some great ideas. We'll be looking out for that there. So, guys, with that said, Peter, before we hop off, anything that I missed?
No, nothing that you missed. Just a note, though, maybe from what Brian was saying, or his list. There is. I was reading an article last night about volatility. So watching the VXX for volatility is something that might be interesting. I don't know if people do that, but we're starting to see increased volatility in these markets, and I don't know what that's going to mean longer term, but it could be something to keep an eye on as you're trading during the day, because it might give you an indication as to how your stock is going to move, or how violent that move will be. So like I said, don't forget, long weekend, because Monday the markets are closed. Expect volume to taper off throughout the afternoon, but we should still have a good strong open. There's lots of stuff moving this morning, so trade safe.
Yep, absolutely, guys. Trade safe. Have an amazing weekend, guys. We will see you on Tuesday. Remember, onboarding class Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Take care, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.